Looks like they're ready to get going here.
We're coming out on the track. We've got them lined up. Remember, they do a standing start. So we'll watch in just a moment as we get the green flag for this one. So our starter has swapped. We've got a different starter out there waving the green flag and getting this one underway. They come up through the gearboxes and they head up to turn one, Bill.
Here we go. Chad Lee started on the pole. Grayson Butler on the outside. Jason Bain, Liam Buckley, Mike Tolbert, and Travis Venazzi, are your top six. And here we go up the hill, back down, and coming by our position. Your leader is going to be number 26 is actually who I'm seeing come by first. So who knows? I don't even see a 26 on my scoring. So that's a good start here for the shifter carts. Well, we'll just say that's Chad Lee for now, but we'll see how they stack up when they come through for the first time by the scoring. That one says 228, which I don't see that one either. There we go. We had a little change in the scoring there. Anyhow, it looks good so far. The shifter carts, to be honest, I've only seen this with at most 3 carts in it, so I think this bounty that's been put up is really being helpful. So here we go. And it is Chad Lee, our leader, with John Stapleton is in second, Grayson Butler third, Jacob Hughes fourth, and top 5 rounded out by Mike Tolbert. Half a second lead already for Chad Lee. Let's see if he can maintain that as the field settles in, stretches out for this 8-lap pre-final.
Well, the shifter carts, the most powerful carts out there. You heard Will Rigdon tell us about 32 horsepower carts. A lot of bells and whistles on these that the others don't. You can see the differential in speed from what we've been seeing before as these drivers head down toward turn 9 right now, making their way into turn 10. Chad Lee is our race leader for the moment, but Stapleton just behind him, not letting him get too far away.
Under more ideal weather conditions, these carts will turn closer to 50-second laps than the minute 4 right now, as we saw Chad Lee turn on lap number 1. Of course, now they're going to be fully warmed up. There's going to be a minute 1 because they were from a standing start. Let's see what lap 2 brings as they complete it. As far as the time, there you go. Yeah, 58.173 was the lap time. Gap at the line, 1.5. So Chad Lee opening it up a bit over John Stapleton. But he's got his hands full with Grayson Butler behind him as they weave through turn number 2 and then 3 by our position in 4. And on towards the kink. Oh, getting a little sideways there is Grayson Butler, but he hangs on to it. Hanging it out, trying his best to get the best lap time and get around that second place Stapleton. Maybe make a run at Chad Lee.
Last time we were here back on September 18th, I spent a good bit of time talking with Danny May and with John Stapleton, and they were explaining their carts and going through various parts of them and explaining the differences in these and other carts that are out on the track. It's quite interesting conversation that we had, and very interesting to talk to those two different personalities as well. Stapleton now runs in second, and I just believe Butler got by him. Let's check on timing and scoring when he comes by the loop and see if that is in fact not the case.
That is, Butler is in second. You're right. 2.8 seconds the difference, but Butler is now in second. Now let's see if Grayson Butler has anything for Chad Lee as he's closing in.
Jacob Hughes continues to drop. Tolbert in the 15 cart goes to 4th, and Hughes back in 5th now in the 598. But Chad Lee trying to check out on the field right now as Butler and Stapleton still run 2nd and 3rd. They go up through turn 8 right now as they head to the big sweep in 9. There's Butler. There's Stapleton behind him. Your leader is still Chad Lee. Chad Lee's already down into 16 right now, so the leader already making his way to complete lap number 4. It'll be cross flags this time by. Well, not quite. I guess they're running more than 8 laps in this one.
Let's get a differential at the line. 3.3 seconds is the difference now, so he expanded it a little bit more. But now that he's got clean air in front of him, Grayson Butler may be able to make a little time on Lee if in fact he has it. And we will see as they crest the hill and come by us.
Oh, my.
Get a little sideways there. Slideways, I assume, as they come through.
Butler doing a good job of keeping it under control. Looked like it may have slid up into those rumble strips there. But at least he kept it under control. He's still in second spot.
Again, conditions are conducive to a lot of sliding, and to be honest, we haven't seen a whole lot of control issues with these guys given the wet conditions. So, hats off to them, or helmets off in this case, as we watch Chad Lee come out of 17 to come by to complete lap number 5. And let's get the differential this time. It is 4.85. So it's growing. Yeah, I think Chad Lee, it's his to lose, shall we say. And Grayson Butler pulling away from Stapleton. So now we're starting to even up a little bit, or even out the separation in the field a bit.
Bill, in these shifter carts, we watch them coming up turn 2 especially. Clearly, they've got an opportunity to shift gears. They shift gears a couple of times as they go through this race course. One time is coming up out of the S's. That's a pretty good hill to climb. And, of course, the other is turn 2 when they come through there. You don't see any of these guys trying to bob and get their cart ahead because they can just grab another gear and go for it.
That always helps. It's like pumping that bike up the hill in your neighborhood. You got to crank it down to a lower gear so you can get up and put less stress on the engine. And here we come out of turn number 17 down to 6. Should be 2 to go here. 2 laps to go for Chad Lee. Now enjoying a 4-second lead thereabouts, I believe. 4.24 is what I got between Chad Lee and Grayson Butler. He's showing up twice, and I think they're getting his numbers straightened out is what's going on here. But anyhow, here he comes. Whoa, man, he is at a 45-degree angle. He should come on drift weekends if he can do that.
That's pretty much a drifting look out of Grayson Butler in the number 1. He's really hanging that rear end out. There comes your leader, Chad Lee, in the 228. He brings it up through the top of the hill up there. And he was working his way as we get ready for the 1 to go to come out next time by. He takes his way down into 15. He'll be going through that final dual apex, triple apex, whatever you want to call it. It's 15, 16, 17, kind of all in one encompassed turn. White flag is out right now for Chad Lee.
Opening it up, maintaining it about 4 seconds or so. 4.148 is the difference this time by. So I think he's put it in cruise control and just needs to make it through these last 17 turns, and he'll be able to bring home the victory in the shifter class pre-final. This will be the halfway point for our program today as well, as we will finish the last of the pre-finals. We're going to break for lunch, and then we'll come back with the finals, which are 12-lap spectaculars. And if you enjoyed the action that you saw in the first half, you're really going to love what you see in the second half as these guys go for the part that counts now. They're just setting the lineups here, but the 12 lappers, that's when you get the hardware, is for placing in those. So here comes your leader, Chad Lee, for the last time out of turn number 17.
And the checkered flag is out as Chad Lee takes the win. Second spot's going to go to Grayson Butler. John Stapleton brings his cart by. He will finish in third. Mike Tolbert in the 15 is supposed to be your fourth place car. Haven't seen him. I wonder who that is that's off track right there. There's the 15 car.
That's Tolbert. Speak of the devil. So he having a little trouble. I don't think he's going to bother to finish. He's going to come back there. Oh, a little tangle, apparently. Or is that in the same place, or is that's 2 different spots on the track?
That's Jacob Hughes just after he came past start finish. That's coming into 4, I guess, or into. Is that coming into 4?
He missed the pull off. Is that what happened?
Maybe so. That's the 598 of Jacob Hughes.
Right. All right.
So you see him shifting the gears there, trying to get that thing ready to roll once again, but he may be off in that soft grass. And that is sitting right here in turn 4, right at our vantage point, just in front of the garage area. S's where they come up the big elevation change there up the hill, and they can shift down to negotiate that hill. So they're called shifter carts for a reason. They've got a transmission and a gear shift in them, and the drivers are apt to use them on occasion.
Looks like everybody's in position. There we go. Green flag is out. Green, green,
yeah,
green.
You don't ever get a false start on this one. They make it up the hill, and they will fly around here because they can negotiate those hills quicker, and they're just faster carts, more horsepower. Let's find out who we got up front as they make their way into turn number 4.
Whoa, we got a spin out right there in the beginning. Yeah, not a good place to do that. He's getting out right away. I wonder if he tore something up spinning it, because you can do that if you run that backwards with that gearbox in gear.
Yeah, that's what they always told me about Legends cars too. Same kind of setup with Legends cars with the transmission and the motorcycle engine and so forth. They always told me if you run them backwards, you'll tear that thing up.
And
so
we got some more
goodness
misfortune
gracious.
going on as well. Coming out of 9.
Now, that's Danny May. I know that in that 8
The
cart.
8's going to be Danny May, so we'll get the scoring updated in a minute. And here we come to complete lap number 1.
And we got 3 drivers up there battling for the top spot.
The survivors of that first lap, boy. And it may be that things are a bit wetter, a bit slicker than they were in the pre-final. And that could be what contributed to the incidents we saw, but we saw our leader spin out now. I don't know how he got back underway. I'm not sure how much ground he lost.
We'll see if we can spot him here in a minute. He has to be a half lap or so behind the rest of the field. Our leaders are coming through the S's right now. We've got 3 carts that are up there with contention at the top of it. Actually, 2 that are really in contention. We've got a third one that's in that camera shot, but really 2 that are in contention at the moment for the top spot on the racetrack.
Sorry, we're still waiting for our scoring to update here. And technology is a powerful slave and a fearful master or something like that. So there we go. Yeah, we'll get it figured out. But meanwhile, there's action on the track, and we got a 2-cart breakaway in front after all that.
Is that Stapleton? I'm not sure. I'll have to see. I believe it may be. Yeah. No? Does that say Stapleton on the back of his driving suit? I believe it possibly is. We'll try to get a little clarification on that a little later on.
Fortunately, we have pictures, so we can y'all can enjoy that while we figure out who's who. But we got a 2-cart breakaway here. They're going at it. You can see them working those shifters, those paddle shifters on the wheel as they go by. Again, that great shot coming out of the S's.
Now, I believe that's the driver that has the Hoosier racing suit on that says Hoosier on the back. If that's the case, that's the driver that spun right in front of us in turn 4, and he is not the leader of the race. The leader may be behind him if that's the case, but I'm not sure about that until we get timing and scoring.
Okay, the transponders are picking up now. We're just not seeing who they are, so that hasn't quite loaded yet. We'll get there. It'll happen.
Well, fans, you're seeing the action just as we are. Whatever you're seeing is what we're seeing,
exactly.
And that is Stapleton up front. I see that now. I can clearly see that. Thanks to our camera crew for giving us that great shot there. That's Stapleton, your leader, and he's got the 541 right behind him, trying to chase him down as they work up through turn 14. They'll be there in just a second.
And then a 3-cart battle behind them, dicing it up as we come along, and they're again moving quickly. We need to get some lap times as well. It'll be interesting to see how fast they're going in these conditions. But coming down to the line, it looks to the inside just a little bit, but nothing there. As we are 4 laps into this 12-lap shifter cart feature.
Those 3 carts behind him, I believe they're kind of chasing him down. I see them starting to come into the picture more, so we're getting a little more of that battle. We got a side-by-side battle coming out of 2.
Did he close the door on him coming through 3? Because if you go inside on 2, you're outside on 3, so you've got to cover a little more ground. But it looks like he took him. Gave a little ground to the front 3, but they should tighten. If things keep going that way, they're going to tighten it up before long. And I think I'd like to see the GoPro footage on the top of that 5th-place cart, because he's the one carrying one of those.
That's the 11 car, and he got a little squirrely coming out here in 4. The rear end kind of chucked out on the back end of that car. So it may be some interesting footage, sure enough.
Coming around to complete lap number 5. There'll be 7 to go this time by, 7 to go. And we have, again, now a 3-cart battle up front with the 4th and 5th closing in. It's going to be a 5-cart battle before long. And this ought to be something. $500 will go a long way.
Yep.
And it can definitely spur some interest in everyone. So here they come under our position. Yeah, you can see they just hitting that throttle, and that back end is coming around just a little bit as they drift through the corners here.
Well, as you mentioned, final race of the day. So track conditions at this point, it's not going to get any worse than this because we're about done. So
That's
put
right.
it that way.
It is what it is, and here we come. There we go. A little bit of contact coming through, but they're about to close that one down and say once they start dicing up front, the two carts in the back will definitely close in on that. So this should be pretty exciting as we're coming by for the halfway sign.
Stapleton
6
is there.
laps
Got
complete.
one looking to the inside as they head up in turn 1, so I don't know how that pass will continue, but I think they're all back in line right now. But there was a quick look to the inside by that cart running in third spot, that blue cart.
Yeah, we're now seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 in the freight train, and this should close up as we get through the slower portion of the track, especially when we get into the turn 10 and come out and go 9 and 10 and go to the S's. Looking to the inside. Ooh. Perspective didn't tell me whether he was actually beside somebody, but he was looking. He was looking to the inside. Here they come, weaving their way through the S's, coming towards us, and then flying away over the hill.
Well, they make their way for another time down into 15. It'll be 7 laps complete this time. We've just passed the halfway point a moment ago. This is 7 complete out of 12 as they bring it off 17. Stapleton continues to be your leader as we work our last race of the day.
5 to go now. Less than 5 laps to go here in the shifter kart final. Things have settled out for the moment. It looks like it's 2 to 3 kart lengths from first to second, second to third, third to fourth, fourth to fifth. But that is bound to change. It doesn't take much, especially in these conditions, for something to go awry and to change the order drastically.
Yeah, we've seen that in previous races today.
Absolutely.
With 2 to go, we saw Alyssa come back and get the win over Noah and Ryan. So right now we're trying to see if we can keep this one as it is, everybody in single file, or is somebody going to scoot out and try to see if they can take away a spot. Stapleton still leads it by about 6 kart lengths down into turn 16.
Chad Lee's gaining. He's in 6th. Chad Lee's catching up quick.
Chad Lee in 6th spot, working up on the field right now. So he is in 6th, but he's catching this field right now.
Is he the one that spun on us early? He was the leader. And we see him coming down the hill. I don't know, less than 4 laps to go. That may be difficult to make up that much ground, but there he is. Here he comes. That was the kart that spun. He was our pole sitter.
And he is working hard to try to catch this field. Well, he's probably overdriving a little bit, but doing everything he can to try to catch up.
It'd be interesting to have well, let me see if I have let's say 6th, 7 seconds back, something like that. I'm not sure if I can trust my data here right now.
All right, there's your leader going into 16. Got a kart that may play a factor in this that they'll be catching as they probably this lap or maybe next lap. We're completing 9 laps this time by
3 to go, and Chad Lee starts to show up in the picture.
Maybe it was 8 laps complete this time by. Not real sure.
Could be. I've got 9 laps.
Okay, 9 laps.
I think this may
complete.
have frozen. Now it's registering again. Let's see. Will it give me something to work with? John Stapleton is your leader. Jason Bain is in 2nd. Danny May is 3rd. Jacob Hughes 4th. Chad Lee is 5th is what we're showing right now. So there you go.
You want to do it? Good job. Yeah. Come on over. Well, we've got our 2nd place finisher from our race. Congratulations, man. What a race.
Thank you.
Well, we thought you weren't going to do it, and all of a sudden you pulled it out there at the end.
Yes, sir. It was probably the worst conditions I've ever driven in.
I'm sure.
Between not being able to see because the visor situation, oh Lord, that was very bad that session.
Yeah. So now tell us about the pass.
So the pass that I made with Banu Yedla, man, great race to you, Banu, if you're watching this. But I studied it for several laps, and decided I was going to just ease on behind him throughout the race and then go ahead and take advantage of that on the very last lap, and pulled it off.
Well, we know Yedla's got a ton of laps on this racetrack. We heard that testimony before. So we know that was a yeoman's work to get up there and study him like you did and figure out where to do it. So at what lap did you say, all right, it's time to pull the chain and do it?
Probably about the 6th or 7th lap.
Okay. So now where does this put you in the points?
So currently I have Danny May and Xander Laws sitting in front of me for the point series. I am hoping that this went ahead and brought me back up into third, because prior to this race I was sitting third in the championship. Went ahead and had a bad race last month and just brought me down to 6th. So I'm hoping this will really bring me back up there.
Well, absolutely. Carson Craig, driver of the 55. Man, great race today.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. No problem. All right, let's get back to shifters. Bill, where are
Chad Lee has found his way into second. I think he just came around John Stapleton. He is in the lead. Our early misfortune spinner coming out of 4 is now your leader as he whipped by the top 5 in short order once he caught him, and now he is in the lead. So Chad Lee in the 228 is your leader. Stapleton second, then Jason Bain, Danny May, Jacob Hughes are your top 5. This is the last lap. We're on the last lap, so as you see coming through the S's, there is Chad Lee.
Man, Chad Lee has had such bad luck on this beginning start right here in turn 4. He spun right in front of us, but I don't think he's got a chance to catch John Stapleton. Take us to the end.
Here he goes, coming out of the turn 17. There's your winner, Chad Lee, I believe. Yep, Chad Lee is your winner.
He got him.
Yeah, he did. He passed him coming through turn 2 on the last lap. So actually, Jason Bain managed to get around Stapleton as well to finish second. Stapleton ended up third. Jacob Hughes fourth. Danny May fifth. So quite a bit of action there. Well, Chad Lee was dominant, but he had that early misfortune. He had just enough. If it had been one lap shorter, he wouldn't have won that one, but he was able to pull it off on the last lap.
That's fantastic work from Chad Lee to keep his focus and make his way back up through the field, because that's got to play with your senses and your sensibilities whenever you spin out like that, and you're all of a sudden in the rear of the field. What are you going to do? But he kept his nose down and kept grinding, and wound up with a win. Been an outstanding day.
All right, and our last podium and an exciting pre-final and final race today, one of our largest shifter fields of the year. Big shout out to Body Symmetry for putting up that $500 prize for this week and next month's races. So whoever has the best 2 finishes today and next month on the 20th will get that $500 prize. And your top 3 for shifters. In third place, John Stapleton. In second place, Jason Bain. And your winner in shifter class, Chad Lee. All right, good job, guys. Good job. We could get the race winner over here real quick, do a quick post-race interview. Oh. We are still live on Facebook and YouTube right now. All right, we are here with Chad Lee, your winner out of the shifter division. Chad, take us through that pre-final and then on to the final race. What'd you do? How'd you make it happen?
Pre-final was okay. I didn't get a real good start. Sat there a little long, motor kind of lugged, and had to race John for it and got him in the double lefts. And after that, we just kind of held on and just kind of maintained, tried to save equipment a little bit because it was slick and had to be careful, you know. Finally, we rolled around, got a great start. Ended up stepping all over myself in turn 4 right here. Made it harder than it had to be. Put my head down. One of the corner marshals helped me refire. Put my head down, and 1 to go, 2 to go, got John, something like that, last lap. And it was a good race. Everybody raced really clean, and John and I got together at the end, which I hate. but sometimes you just kind of run out of track and you got to do what you do.
Now, with the weather coming in, did that affect your strategy much today?
A little bit. We kind of had to plan for it, kind of conserve tires a little bit because it kind of wanted to dry in the pre-final before we weren't sure. So we kind of had to save tires and adjusted the motor things a little bit, trying to make it more drivable in the final because it tended to got more wet for us, you know. So it was a good day, you know. A&P, their staff, all you guys did a great job. And without, you know, you got Eyes Up guys and Steve Frank, and you got Anthony Brumfield with Body Symmetry put the money up and started the little 2-race winter series, summer series, whatever they're calling it. And it's a good deal. It's fun. You know, come over and support those guys.
Cool. Well, you are in the lead right now heading into next month. Anything you're going to do different? Same thing? Take us through next month. What are you going to do?
Go home and get back on the bike and try to get in shape or make sure we're ready to go and come back and fight these guys. They're not going to let me have it that easy, so we got to get ready again.
Well, we look forward to it. Good luck. Congratulations. Thank you for talking with us. And everybody else, thank you for coming out today. Thank you for braving the weather. We appreciate it. Thank you. Have a safe trip home. So long, everybody.